One of the things that I have noticed a lot during the last 6 months, I would say, is that many players in the Dota 2 community are kind of stuck or unable to move from, let's say, legend or ancient rank or even archon rank to immortal divine rank. So I know that people who have played the game for about more than 5 years and are still, let's say, their rank is not matching the number of years they've played the game. So if someone has played more than 5 years, I would definitely expect them to be at least a divine player or an immortal player. But it seems like people are stuck in, I would say, in this legend bracket. And like I would say almost about 60 to 70% of the community is stuck there. And this is basically two reasons that I feel. So the first reason is that, which is quite obvious, is that you don't have the, let's say, you're not competent enough or you don't understand the few concepts of the game which a lot of pro players coach about. Let's say, for example, how to lane, these small concepts that are pretty crucial in let's say improving your rank. But basically, let's categorize it into not having the skills enough. But the second reason that is very surprising or interesting is that you have the competency level, you're a good player, you have good item choices, you know that you understand the game very well, you know how to lane. But the problem is in your mentality, the way you deal with other players, or the way you think about the game, which is non-related to your technical term. It's more about your mentality perspective. And in this video, let me talk about that. So in some other video, I will cover the competency level, for some other time. But let me talk about your mentality level. So let me share with you one experience that I had recently. Was I was playing with a friend of mine, and he brought in his other friend. So friend of friend. And we were playing one game, and this friend of his, with a friend of mine, he was playing amazing. He was playing position 1, he was playing a Spectre, and he had all the farm, he was getting kills in the lane. And I honestly thought the way he was moving in the lane, the way he was farming, I was like, man, this guy is the same as me. He's like an immortal player, or maybe better than me. And, and then after the game, I found out that he was Legend 5, and I was pretty shocked. I thought, are you smurfing or something? But he said, no, this was the actual rank. Anyhow, then the second game we played, he played an offlaner. Again, amazing performance. He was playing Axe, he crushed the lane, he just snowballed. So both the games we played, we were kind of snowballing all the games. Like we won all the lanes, mid, safe, offlane, our supports were dominating, great. Now, in the third game we played, and I immediately realized after the first 10 minutes that why this guy is stuck in Legend 5, even though he has the skill, the level of an immortal player. So what happened was, we had a Juggernaut safe lane, I was playing mid, and he was playing again off lane, this guy. So mid was kind of, I would say, I was like having a good advantage in mid versus Leshrek. I was playing Queen of Pain, so I had quite some, let's say, a small lead in gold and experience, but it was kind of like 60 to 40%, right? It doesn't really matter that much. However, our offlane, this guy, he was doing good as well. He crushed the enemy caddy. He was getting good farm, good levels. And then what happened was that our safe lane kind of failed. So our safe lane, any enemy offlane was doing also well. So our safe lane kind of, I wouldn't say it got stomped, but it wasn't doing well. Anyhow, so the first 10 minutes passed, and this guy, this offlaner guy, he was like, man, this guy carry doesn't know anything. And he kind of, let's say, from my perspective, I was like, great, mid is doing good, offlane is doing good, definitely we can make enough space, or definitely we too can carry the game. And the safe lane, even though he was playing Juggernaut, so I imagine that he has phase boots and Wraith Band ready. And I was like, man, as a Juggernaut, if you're level 7, level 6, you have Wraith Band, you have phase boot, definitely you can catch up, you can go to the jungle, you can come into some crucial team fights, you can spin, you can do stuff here and there, and you can get caught up. However, what I realized is that my offlane friend guy, he had this perspective that he had certain limits. For example, at 10 minutes in, a carry is supposed to have these many last hits. A mid is supposed to have these many levels. And offlane is supposed to do this. He has this preset qualifications, this mindset. And he didn't consider the fact that what are the enemy picks, how the lane is going. He doesn't understand the fact that this mentality that, okay, so let's say, for example, one of the lanes is doing bad while the other lane is doing good. So the lane that is doing good, he can easily make space for the lane that is doing bad. So he didn't understand this mentality of, you can call it competency, but I call it mentality, right? So he was not mature enough to understand that. He thinks that if you have to do well, these preset qualifications again, that if something goes wrong, that's it, you're done. So in the first 10 minutes, if the lanes don't go well, if certain requirements are not met, I have to flame the enemy team. I have to say, oh my god, I'm GG AFK. And this mentality showed me that why he is still stuck. Because imagine if you see in pro scene, in pro tournaments, usually the people who lose the lane end up winning the game. This is kind of the morale that's going on, right? Because you need to understand that after the first 10 minutes of the game, things can change quite dramatically. And you need to understand that, okay, one lane is doing good, one lane is doing bad. So there is a balance, there is a give and take, you know? So I was shocked and I realized this. So what I concluded from this experience was that if any one of you who think that I am pretty good, I have the good skills, I am very competent, just look at your mentality. Are you one of those players that are very judgmental early on, that let's say initially they say, oh, you missed one last hit or you missed an easy kill and that's it, you kind of, because let me tell you something, in Dota 2 it's very easy to get tilted, and trust me, when you're tilted, your gameplay does affect. Some people are like, no, I'm not tilted, nothing is gonna happen to me, I'm still in the shape, I'm still confident. No, tilt gets to each and every one of us, even me. Sometimes I might say, oh, I'm not tilted, but I'm tilted, and I know that it's affecting my gameplay. Sometimes I play like let's say a guardian player. Sometimes tilt can cause chaos in your mind, and in Dota 2 you need your mind to be a very mature level with a good mentality, as I said. So the key takeaway here is that make sure, if you have the skills and ability, don't be judgmental. And think about the mentality of the game, right? Like, don't just try to flame people, try to do bad stuff. You're like, the game that I lost, it was a winning game. Imagine I was Queen of Pain and we had a good axe. Like, we two could have just easily carried the game regardless if Juggernaut had the farm or he didn't caught up or whatever. But we lost it because he was so busy in flaming that other guy that his entire energy, rather than putting in effort in the team fights or putting in effort what's going on in the map, he wasted it and he lost. So, and this way, you're losing games which you're supposed to win. And then imagine you cannot then increase your MMR because you need to win, right? So this is something that you need to work on. Mentality is very important in Dota 2. Trust me, guys. As much as skills is important, I agree, but mentality is equally well in anything. So make sure that your mentality is well, up to mark. All right, guys, that was the takeaway for this video. I hope it helped you. And yeah, so I will be posting other video where I will be talking about some key things that I've noticed in legend players that they don't do well, which stops them from improving their game, hence improving their MMR. And that's it for guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace. If you love the video, subscribe, like, all that stuff. I know I'm not going to repeat it, but anyhow, take care. Cheers.